It's the NFL on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Colts and the Falcons, and it's all up next.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. It is Week 16 in the NFL, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. It's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them.
A happy Christmas Eve to all. What a good one we have in store as we are underway here in Week 16. And no run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here come the Colts to take over for the first time, and leading the way is a number 4 pick in the draft out of Florida. Here's Anthony Richardson.
And it felt like it watching the game tape. He got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
We take a look at his numbers on the ground last week. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
How about that run? Picks up a first down. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's trying to get another one in fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. I think he's been doing that a lot recently.
Squaring those shoulders and getting downhill.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And from the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. And they'll go to the air now with Richardson. Throw out right, pulled in by Downs. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
That's on the tackle, Braden Smith. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the shotgun, Richardson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Trying to get it to Woods, and it's 3rd down. You talk about this Falcon defense. They enter play ranked 8th against the run in the NFL.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
Going for it on 4th, Richardson. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. Well, trying to be bold on the opening drive of the game, but that effort, it proves futile.
How many times have we talked with coaches where they've talked about taking the emotion out of their decision-making? I think that opening drive, if he didn't have it in his head to go for it before, I think that keyed into it. They were doing so well, and he decided to really establish something there. They didn't get it. Now they've got to make sure that they don't lose their focus.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. This defense for the Colts, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Ritter throwing on third down. And this pass broken up. And the contact well-timed there, and now fourth down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes. Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless first quarter to this point. Here's Richardson to throw. And this is incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
On third down, here's Richardson sliding out of the pocket. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter. Even keeping the back end for extra protection on third down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense. And taken right on the 30. Upon a 46, a return of 5. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They are coming off the game last week, which was a very interesting game in Charles. Ultimately, it ended in a tie.
And that's difficult on teams because, let's face it, Brandon, they just don't know how to react. I mean, who does? Did you win? No. Did you lose? No. Because when you win, you jump up and down. Life's good. When you lose, you set your face in that stone look so that you show that you weren't hurt. I think it's one of those things that at the end of the year you find out just how you're supposed to feel about that tie. Did it help you or hurt you in the standings? Then you'll know what you really should have felt that game.
And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. Well, always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Here's 3rd and 3. On play action, here's Ritter. Short throw caught by Pitts. Only able to gain a couple there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And the Colts now, they're ready to get the football back. They are back over the 500 mark for the year. A 3-game winning streak really coming at the exact right time, Charles, to get them back into playoff contention.
And it's always a question of when do you want your football team to peak? And everyone always talks about you want to be playing your best ball going into the playoffs, but sometimes you need your best ball before that time. And this team, going into this stretch of games, they are certainly playing their best football of the year.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Yeah, Richardson back to throw it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Richardson looking to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Lorenzo Carter able to record his 5th sack of the season. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. On the counter, it's Taylor. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
Ritter to throw it. And he can't escape, and down he goes. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Fair catch made at the 29-yard line. The Colts take over 1st and 10.
Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Richardson working from the gun. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Taylor. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. But let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Not too much to show you in terms of scoring plays. In fact, there's nothing to show you. A scoreless tie here at the half. Both of these defenses have been outstanding thus far.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. After a rare scoreless first half, these teams now just looking for something as the second half gets underway. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. Well, Charles, a scoreless first half. How does that change how you assess things here moving forward?
Well, it doesn't change it a whole lot because, remember, it's still scoreless, which means you're starting from 0 again, so you just have one half to play instead of 2. What I would look at my play sheet, though, and see is something that maybe loosens things up for my guys, gets a smile on their faces, and gets them going to begin the second half.
That first down pickup of 8.
That was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards is the pickup, good for a first down for the Falcons. Here's Ritter. And he rifles one incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Got a man, it's Patterson complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 3rd and 5.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Ritter. Another completion right back to Patterson. And they'll get him to the ground, and he has another first down at the Colts 34-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one, and earns him a fresh set of downs. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Now Ritter to throw on first down. They'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Colts 28-yard line.
Back to throw, Ritter. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Robinson will try to pick it up. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Back to Robinson now on first down. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Number 6 brings up 2nd and 4.
Ritter will set up to throw it. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
And just when the offense seemed to be figuring things out, they have a little bit of a setback there. Finally getting a drive going. They can't let that stop them, especially since they've been shut out this far in.
Ritter and the Falcons need an answer, and a big play here on 3rd and long following the sack. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll get nothing out of that one. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
He certainly did his best to find something on that run, but there just wasn't enough time to make it happen. Nice effort there, avoiding the sack and getting back to the line of scrimmage. That one certainly could have ended up worse.
Koo knocks this one through the post. And with it, they have taken the lead. Well, they don't get a touchdown here in the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. 2nd and 6. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Richardson's throw taken in by Landry.
Complete to Jarvis Landry. A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's
The Colts on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now it's Richardson. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. And the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and it will be Falcon football. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
They're really what the 4-minute offense is just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Ritter back to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. But Juju Brents comes up for the stop. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Ritter. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 26. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Back to throw, Ritter. And he is going to have a Falcons first down, and it would appear that that's going to be the one to do it. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball.
Brandon, I can just tell you from experience, there's nothing like pitching a shutout on defense, but even more so when it's a tight game. I mean, when every defensive play is crucial and you don't give up any points, boy, they're going to feel awfully good about themselves after this one.
Yeah, exactly. The offense wasn't humming, but, hey, all they needed was, you can't score 1 point. All they needed was 2 points. You can't score 2 points on offense. All they needed was at least 3, and they got what they needed.
They got what they needed. Exactly right.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense, obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
Well, you know what they say. It's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket. And that's what they've got going forward.
So for Atlanta, they pick up win number 7 on the year, and they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they drop their 7th game on the year, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.